Hello and welcome to Edukemy's YouTube channel. My name is Harsh Singh and in this video we shall discuss the current affairs and gazette for today 7th of April 2022. Welcome to all the participants, people viewing offline. Welcome to all of you. Kriti, Netra, Amlan, good answers written. Hi Vivek, good evening to you as well. All right, let's begin this discussion with understanding what's there for today. So yes, what is there is daily current affairs for today, and today's quote is: in health there is freedom, in health there is liberty. This is the first of all liberties. It is because today is the World Health Day, 7th of April, and that is why we celebrate more about health, more about awareness about health. And therefore health, that means the all-round well-being of the individual, that is of prime importance. Only when health is good, we are at liberty and freedom to do anything that we want to pursue. And this is not just about physical health, mental, emotional, spiritual health, all of them included here, right? So do remember this, and if you like this initiative, share some love through us through likes, comments and shares. Let's understand what do we have in today's discussions. We have Bucha killings. We will explain what is happening in Bucha. These are satellite images of the dead bodies lying in Bucha, just around Kiev. We will also understand electoral bond schemes, and we will understand quite a few more reports. One of them by the IMF talking about the poverty levels in India, which did not go as below during the times of pandemic, specifically because of the government's Prime Minister's Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana. Along with that, we will have some terms and concepts in discussion, and we will also discuss a couple of editorials and case studies. So let's begin this discussion. All right. Bucha killings. Before anything, I would like you to see some of the images from what happened in around Kiev. Bucha is a place which is 25 to 30 kilometers away from the capital of Ukraine, that is Kiev. And Russian forces who had occupied these places just around Kiev, now they are withdrawing from the areas. And while they withdraw after 4 to 5 weeks of occupation around Kiev, there are a lot of explorations. These findings are grave, are to the level that people are shocked and surprised to what happened. And let me show you through some images of what had happened here. First of all, the satellite image that you can see right here, the satellite image shows the bodies of people, and these bodies have been lying here for weeks and weeks, right? And not only that, it was found. See, in the images only it shows that person was on the bicycle, and the person is lying dead around. Were they people who were involved in opposing Russian movement? Not at all. They were civilians. They were people's hands tied, and those people, they were shot at, because that's how the graves found these bodies, right? Not only that, you can see people, they were moving, migrating, taking their bags, their body. In another image, you can see the pram and utility items for home. And to the level that Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, has also said that the Russian forces have left live bombs in Bucha. So more than 300 bodies have been found, more than 300 bodies being excavated from places around Bucha. More images to show, and this is very disastrous and disturbing images that you see here. These are the images of the body which have been taken out from here, 300 plus bodies right now. And this is where I would like to reiterate that there are allegations of war crimes, there are allegations of genocide, there are allegations of multiple regards, and this is where I want to make a clarity between what these things are, right? So this is the context, and please remember the International Criminal Court we had discussed. I will share a little about that as well. We had also discussed what are the kind of cases, or what time does International Criminal Court pick up cases. I'll discuss that as well. In addition, we will understand what are the meaning of war crimes and what is the meaning of genocide. All right, so let's begin this. See, one image, if you remember, I had shared one thing very clearly that all right, let's begin from this. One of the images, in fact this video is present on YouTube as well. A car was moving away, and people just tried to evade whatever was happening, offense by Russia in Ukraine, and a tank, a mechanized vehicle, it just hit the vehicle and it ran over it. So are these the kind of offenses that are accepted even while there is an offense happening against a nation warring? Or are these a part of those kind of events which are excessive usage of force? Yes, this is excessive usage of force. People who are victims, they are civilians. This is another issue. And the third one is going beyond the gravity of the crime. For example, there are three important things that you must note whenever a war crime is committed. Three important things. So the whole definition contains a lot of things. I'll share that. But if you can remember these three phrases, they will summarize the subjective meaning of it, right? In case of options, I will discuss all of this. But then disproportionate use of force. Even if two soldiers are standing opposite to each other and the other person is fist fighting, one cannot be using disproportionate force against this. This will come in war crime. This is one. Second, targeting civilians. Civilian, nihathe. People don't have arms and ammunition. They don't want to fight. They're not ready for anything like this. But yet, they are being targeted. So this is a war crime. And third, extensive destruction. Images you saw. Even when the destruction of public property was not required, that is happening. These all things summarize what is called as war crime. I will discuss other parts also, but then before that, war crimes as declared in Rome Statute of Geneva Convention, Rome Statute of 1998 of Geneva Convention 1949, it declares these things, right? So you can take a screenshot in case, see, I expect these kind of questions in the prelim examination. They might ask, are these parts of the war crimes? So might as well take a screenshot. Willful killings, torture on inhuman treatment, including biological experiments, extensive destruction and appropriation of property, compelling a prisoner of war or other people to serve in the forces of hostile power, serve with the opposite power, willfully depriving a prisoner of war of the rights of fair and regular trial, for example, hands tied and shot dead. What is this? Right? Taking of hostages, unlawful deportation or transfer or illegal confinement of such people, and this has happened. So this is the complete definition. I picked it up from United Nations website itself, right? A part of Geneva Convention 1949, under that Rome Statute of 1998. It mentions this all clearly, and the short version of it is what I explained to you right now. All right, this is where I want to mention to you a couple of things about these crimes. Have a look. The International Criminal Court says that any war crimes I can investigate, provided there are three things. Provided you people are members of International Criminal Court. If you are a member, we will discuss this. There are around 130 odd members, right? But then Russia and Ukraine are not members. So how is International Criminal Court going to accept a case like this? It can accept if United Nations Security Council has advised it to pick up a case like this, right? And it can also accept in case it finds through relevance, through, for example, in this case, Ukraine, it finds that this case deserves attention. It can investigate these criminal matters, right? So these are the three ways in which it can investigate. Even when Russia and Ukraine, who are not members, right, it can still investigate these cases. But then intricacies are there. See, war crime declaration that this is a war crime, that is possible. But when the president of Ukraine says that it was a genocide, then that is the question. How? Let us understand this. See, there is a separate definition of what means genocide. Genocide, as per United Nations Genocide Convention, it clearly mentions that genocide means acts committed with intent to destroy in whole or part a national, ethnic, racial or religious group. If you are from a specific religious group, for example, Jews community, if you are from an ethnic group, for example, Tutsis, Hutus and Tutsis, no, in Africa, if you are from a different community or different national, for example, Ukrainian national, and the crimes are specifically targeted against you, then possibly this is a genocide, right? But then proving a genocide is very tough. This is what the experts say. Why? Simply because we have to garner and gather proof. Who was the person who gave the orders for extermination, mass extermination of Ukrainian people or Tutsis? So will we be getting those data, call logs, call records? Very tough call. Plus, will Russia be cooperating? Not at all cooperating here, right? So it is very difficult to prove what is genocide, but it is easier to prove what is happening as a war crime, right? So Zelensky has spoken of genocide also happening in Ukraine. They have also spoken of war crimes happening, that we can of course see, and crimes against humanity. So there is another definition of crime against humanity. It largely encapsulates the genocide, crimes against humanity. It largely encapsulates what is covered under the war crimes. Almost crimes against humanity, right? So all those things, for example, against civilian population, extermination, enslavement of people, deportation, forcible transfer, right? All of this. Okay, all right. So you can very well see what is happening here. And see, these kind of allegations by Ukraine had already been lodged against Russia, even the first time, 2014 onwards, they had been lodged, but then nothing happened, and the similar situation is happening right now. So more than 300 bodies being found there, and these are incontrovertible evidences. They cannot be retracted. These are infallible evidences of these war crimes, right? You can see this, and very disturbing images. There are images where you would see the body of humans, half lying inside the graves, and half above it, and for weeks. This is the reality. All right. So this is an update. These are summary executions. Summary. Oh, dekha and then they shot dead. So this is not how Geneva Convention works, right? This is against the protocols. So please remember what is a war crime. Please remember Geneva Convention. Please understand what is Genocide Convention and what are its smaller details. Just these words are important. And when you want to explain to anybody what is the meaning of war crime, then you can look at just these 3 points, right? Just these 3 points. That is disproportionate use of force, targeting civilians, and extensive destruction. That is all, my friends. Okay, so take all this much, and IC, International Criminal Court, we have understood what it means, what it does, in what cases it can pick up the cases. We also know its track record. ICC's track record is not so good at all. It doesn't pick up cases against the developed world. It doesn't just been 20 years of its formation, and the conviction rate is also very low. Conviction is largely happening from African countries, so you know it all now. Okay, moving ahead. See, these are the Jews, and they are largely 3 accepted genocides that have happened throughout the world as of now. 3. This could be the 4th if accepted and proved. So first one is Armenian people being killed by the Ottoman Turks during the times of First World War. This is one. The second one is the 6 million Jews death, and the third one is the one that happened during the time of Yugoslavian war, where people were killed during these times. All right, so this is the update here. Okay, electoral bonds, that is the second update that I would like to share with you people. Electoral bonds. Okay, what is it about? Okay, electoral bonds. See, this is an example of an electoral bond. Right here in front of you, you can see on the left side the electoral bond. This mentions the amount that we want to donate to a political party. All right, amount. This also speaks about the date this was issued. Date it was issued, right? So what are the times when electoral bonds are issued? We will understand in detail about this as well. And what are the impacts? What is the process? What are the issues? What are the concerns? And what are the advantages? All right. See, before 2018, this scheme was introduced in 2018. Before 2018, a person could anonymously donate in cash up to 20,000 rupees. 20,000 rupees. So government said, no, anonymous donations not accepted. We want the donations to be through legal challenge. So government said that we will create state banks where you can have these electoral bonds deposited. The person name who is depositing the money, that need not be put. That will be anonymous. But who it is going to, that will not be anonymous. If I want to donate to X party, the X party needs to have this paper. So there are only specific times when these bonds can be released, right? These bonds are released from first, in the 4 quarters: April, May, June, April, May, June, July, August, October, and January again. So 4 times a year for 10 days. And in these 10 days, the day you purchase the bond, from that day, 15 days, this bond is valid. And then this bond can be taken up by the political party who I have donated this bond to, and then they will later be encashing this amount. If it is 1,000 rupees, 10,000, 1 lakh or 10 lakh and 1 crore, these are the denominations of the bonds. So the idea was to increase more transparency into funding of the political parties. Simple enough. This is one more beautiful point. I mean, the agenda was beautiful, right? So 20,000 in cash, no, no, no. We say no to this. Only 2,000 at max in cash, anonymous donations, and all the other donations, will be accepted through bonds. This was the idea, and 2018 this government scheme got initiated. But let's look at the shortcomings and loopholes. See, lately, two NGOs, ADR being one, Association for Democratic Reforms, very, very proactive NGO in the field of political reforms, and another NGO, Common Cause. They have come up to the Supreme Court, and repeatedly they came back. They came in 2020 as well. They come to Supreme Court saying that we are distorting democracy if we are including these kind of instruments like electoral bonds. How and why? Let's understand. The contention by these agencies, it clearly states that if we don't know who is the one who is donating, this is not complete transparency. We must know who is donating how much amount. We must also know the background of the person who's been donating. See, the person who's been donating, they receive exemptions. The political party also will receive exemptions on these kind of donations. But then, it should be declared. See, prima facie, it might seem that the person is anonymous, the person who is declaring is anonymous. But since SBI is a government bank, and government can indirectly know who is the donor, we will understand that this is a partisan rule, and indirectly it gets proved as well. Let's know why. Before that, one more thing to understand is that the idea was to ensure that grassroots people, if they want to donate, they could donate. But 90% of the donations that have happened here, they have happened to the tune of in the 1 crore bonds. 1 crore rupee bond, you can accept a bond for, see, 1,000 rupees, right? You can accept 10 bonds for 1,000 rupees, that amounts to 10,000 rupees. But maximum people who are donating are, in the tune of 1 crore rupee bonds, not 10,000 rupee bond or 1,000 rupee bond. This means that only rich people are donating. This was against the agenda that people at the grassroots could donate. In fact, 99% of the people who are total bonds which are being accepted, they are in the range of 1 crore and 10 lakh. Oh my God, then is it for common people? No, not at all. So it might seem that this is anonymous, but then government possibly could know. This is one, government of the day. If it is BJP, it could know. If it is Congress, it could know. And then they have proved through data as well. Have a look at some data here. See, you people nicely mentioned, I love that part, when you said that 9,000 crore rupee of bond has been already released in the market, but then what has been accepted by political parties is a little less, say around 20 crore rupees lesser than the one declared. So if in 15 days, see, these are something that could be asked also sometimes in pre-exam. In 15 days, if we do not accept the bond, or it is not accepted by the political party within 15 days and declared, then this lapses, right? The whole thing lapses. 15 days from the date on which I have purchased the bond. Now see, just wanted to show you that the election year 2019, there were huge payments, 5,000 crore as compared to the past year, it was only 1,000 crore. And then you see 2022 and 21, these are the, and 2020, only 300 crores have been paid. And you would be surprised to know that the political party in power has received as much as 75% of all the donations. How is it possible that only the ruling party is getting this? So one thing is very much clear from this, that is that it is possible that there is a partisan nature of this bonds, the ruling party getting more favor here, right? Not only that, there are some more changes that were made because of the introduction of this bond. You must know this as a matter of criticism of the introduction of electoral bonds. See, before 2018, people from outside India, organizations from outside could not donate to political parties. But post 2018, people from outside can also donate. People, for example, if Greenpeace wants to donate, they can also donate through a local organization on their behalf. Is this justified? When we are controlling the funding of these organizations, but we are accepting the payments from outside organizations for political parties, how is this justified? So this is a major criticism of this scheme, right? Let's understand few more. 90% of people, yeah, I mentioned that criticism, right? Another one, cap on how much the company how much donations can a company give. Earlier, there was a cap on how much maximum donation a company could give. It was 7.5% at max of the average net profit of the last 3 years. If the company is not profit making, you will not be forced. Maximum 7.5%. But now after this 2018 amendment, anybody can, this thing has been done away with. You can form a shell company created abroad, and through them you can route these payments. What to do? Is this transparent? Not at all. But is this something that is justifying the democracy that India wants to achieve? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I hope you understand the point I am mentioning right now. Earlier, there was a cap of maximum that a company could donate. 7.5% of the profit it is making, and average profit it is making in the last 3 years. But now, no more that. You can donate any amount that you want to, and there's no such capping. You create such shell companies outside and keep receiving the amounts here. So the government amended this company's act to remove these kind of limitations. So this is not accepted. No foreign company could donate to any political party earlier. Now, Indian, foreign and even shell companies can donate to political parties without having to inform anyone about the contribution. Oh, look at that. Okay. So what else? So you've seen quite some shortcomings of electoral bonds here. If there's something more that is coming to your mind, you must write it down and see only one political party receiving the majority. Yesterday in Hindu's newspaper only, I wish I could have shown you the screenshot here. Yesterday in Hindu's newspaper central page, op-ed page, they showed the division in political parties. But largely, so much of data is not required. You just need to say 75% the ruling party, that's what they have been funded with. All right. So criticism are more than the appreciation, and that is why I mentioned 3 appreciations and 4 criticism. So appreciation of electoral bond, you people have nicely mentioned. I like that point. People who are watching offline, please look at the online comments. So one appreciation is the whole thing converts to online, right? The second is people can donate anytime. Yes, one point mentioned, and the time was requested to be reduced. The Election Commission of India said very clearly that it would be great if we have the names of the people who are donating. Also, reducing the time from 1 to 10 of April, or the first 10 days of the quarter, to first 5 days only. These are only superficial reforms which we are expecting. All right. So this is the update on electoral bonds, part of today's news. Okay, Supreme Court has accepted this case right now. They said we will hear it. Last year they said that there were enough checks and balances, but the Chief Justice mentioned that last year because of Corona we couldn't take up. This is what they mentioned. Okay, so they have taken up the case right now. Non-disclosure reinforced the idea of moving away from cash system. This is an advantage. 15-day between buying and selling. Ensure that it doesn't turn into a parallel economy. All right. Okay. So this is electoral bonds. All right, getting to what? The healthy lifestyle. All right, today is World Health Day, and that is the reason that I wanted you to share with you people see, we all know what to do, but what not to do is something that we sometimes forget to understand. सबको पता है क्या करना है, क्या नहीं करना है. Let me share some things for our health. So don't eat as much of unhealthy food. Then don't have a sedentary lifestyle only. Arey bhai, try utilizing. Where is that sedentary? Yes, ghar mein bhi ho, do some yoga. If you can't do yoga, move around. If you have a pet, play with them, right? Move around a little, especially after eating food. Have adequate sleep. Inadequate sleep does mean that we have not rested properly. Our mind won't function as properly. Dehydration is something that we have to encounter because it is water which carries the minerals to the various parts of the body, carries energy to the various parts. So water is actually equivalent to, synonymous to life. So dehydration, something to avoid, especially in summers. And stress management, inadequate stress to aayega, it will be there, but we have to learn to handle it. How? Watch something, talk to people, watch a hilarious program, move around. And in fact, all of these things are interrelated. That's the best part about it. If you eat healthy food, the sleep will be good. You will want to keep moving around in the home. There will be tendency to drink optimal amount of water, not even more and not even less. The sleep will also be optimal. That's the point I'm making. But if you eat unhealthy food, or if you sleep less, if you sleep more, there will be different tendency to eat. There will be lesser tendency to move around. The sleep also will get compromised. There will be more stress. Exam ka to stress alag, life ka stress alag. Okay. So 5 things what not to do, and you can see how you should exercise. Have a look. Start off. Yeah. 1, 2, One more. 3. See, 3 pull-ups. All right. Moving ahead to the next update, that is on single-use plastic. Oh, single-use plastic, always in news. The government and the Prime Minister has indicated innumerable times that they want to do away with single-use plastic by the year 2022. Oh, it is this year itself, 2022. Ab kaise hoga? So this is where the government has declared something called as a mascot, a symbol through which they want to popularize the reduction in single-use plastic at informal levels, right? So what have they done? So they have released something called as Prakriti. Prakriti is the mascot. What does it look like? Mascot is like a symbol, no, a sign of goodwill. So I looked at various places, didn't find what Prakriti means, but Prakriti is there. Possibly it is this lady behind, the image of this lady. This could be the mascot that we are speaking of, popularizing. Just like, remember, Swachh Bharat indicated through Gandhiji's spectacles. Similarly, Prakriti indicating the usage of non-usage of single-use plastic. See, most of the plastic that is being used around the country is single usage. So Prakriti, a mascot that spreads greater awareness about small altercations in life that can curb plastic pollution, right? So this is what has been released, but not just Prakriti, the government has also initiated quite few measures. So let me speak about quite few measures shortly so that you understand what these are and you are able to absorb this and put this in the examination somehow. So first is dashboard. See, everything being made digital. Dashboard on elimination of single-use plastic. So government wants to see on a platform, on internet platform, kitna plastic create hua, where did it go to, and how are we managing the recycling of these plastic or upscaling of the plastic. So dashboard for that. If you remember, yesterday itself we had studied about a dashboard. That dashboard was on the biomaterials, biomaterials to be used. What was that dashboard? Can you please mention in the comment section? I will take up the questions immediately after the 3 updates, 3 snapshots. The second one is extended producer responsibility. If we have a dashboard like this, we can also hold the people who have created these plastics as liable. You didn't utilize this plastic, right? You didn't recycle the plastic. Where are your funds? All the companies. Dabur is a good example who is making, effectively zero plastic usage now. So extended producer responsibility dashboard portal for them. So tracing them and making it transparent. Grievance redressal. If you are trust ho gayo plastic use se, if you see it all around, you post an image and then they will be clearing it. So grievance related to any plastic issues, that will also be sorted here. Plastic burning happens, no? You can put up right here. Monitoring modules for single-use plastic and industrial production of graphene from waste plastic. Achha, this is the best part about it. If we can upcycle, it was clearly written on All India Radio, upcycling of graphene. So graphene is one product that can be formed through waste plastic and it can be utilized at multiple places. Many advantages. So it has got greater flexibility, it has got greater strength, it has got great heat conductivity and excellent electrical conductivity because of its shape. And if it can be upcycled from waste plastic, let's do it. So what you can retain, it's up to you. But a dashboard on eliminating single-use plastic, use of waste plastic for graphene, EPR module, and then grievance redressal for all persons. So good one. Along with that, what we studied yesterday was material acceleration platform. Material acceleration platforms for understanding the usage of finding the biomaterials throughout the country. And finding biomaterials, yahi tha yesterday we had studied. If you don't remember, then not good, yeah. So much of information being passed. Good information. Yahi to, this is what is a differentiator na for you people. Material recovery facility, I think that's the name. 10% of all the usage of fossil fuels and chemicals that intends to be reduced by the year 2030 through material, recovering such material. That's it. Okay. What material? So cow dung, haystack, kitchen and kitchen wastage, sewage wastage, all of them converted to energy. Okay, moving ahead quickly to the next update. Pandemic, poverty and inequality. Evidence from India. Now, World Bank. This is a report which was shared by IMF and specially done on India, where the report clearly mentions that during pandemic times, the reduction in poverty, extreme poverty was not as much. Why? And it was only because of the government schemes, the food security schemes running in India. Food security, very, very important. Not only the General National Food Security Mission, which provides for the coverage of 75% of India's population, and providing them through targeted PDS. What do we provide through targeted PDS? We provide for 3 rupees, 1 to 3 rupees, right? So rice, wheat and other grains provision at such rates for targeted people, and providing 35 kilos of such items and 5 kilos of items to every person at subsidized cost to all the Indian nationals. This is what is the part of National Food Security Mission. This question was asked in the main examination this time itself. And along with that, India government also started the scheme called as PM, Prime Minister Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana, GKAY, in 2020. With this scheme, government said, in addition to whatever security we are giving for 80 crore of people who have been targeted through the various schemes for the census itself, and through this scheme they will be providing 5 kilo of grains in addition to whatever we are providing per family per month. All right, and this scheme has only gotten extended. First wave, second wave, third wave, it got extended. So this has helped lesser reduction in poverty in the country, extreme poverty. So the article that I was reading, the report itself, it clearly mentions extreme poverty is defined by World Bank as the share of people living under $1.9 every day, PPP, purchasing power parity. So standard measure for understanding what is extreme poverty throughout the whole world. How can it be the same throughout the whole world, even if purchasing power parity? Because the food basket is different. All right. So this is the earning, $1.5 of $1.9 of earning. This is what defines what is extreme poverty, right? The second thing that the report clearly mentions is that there are low levels of extreme poverty, which was 0.8%. So extreme poverty has not decreased in the country or not increased also. It has remained about 0.8%. It was just before pandemic, it was 0.76%, and at pandemic it was 0.86%. So the average comes to 0.8%. This is what the article says. This is what the report also very clearly says. This is the IMF report that I am speaking of. So according to this, does it not indicate that India has reduced its absolute the extreme poverty levels? Yes. So that is why we need to increase the parameters for what is extreme poverty. Extreme poverty only I am speaking of, not poverty. All right. And see, there is disparity between states, the well-performing states, Delhi, Chandigarh. There are many places in the country where inflation is high and then cost is high. So how can we have the same, figure for income for poverty determination in all states in India? These are criticisms of the digital data. United Nations says $1.9, but Indian states, there is disparity. Even if you apply purchasing power parity, it is the same for the whole country. Similarly, these are income. This is income, $1.9 per person. But then consumption is different. No, we are seeing consumption at one place from person's end, and we are comparing it with income. We have to see either income parameters only or consumption parameters. All right. So this is the update. Okay, moving to the next update. But before that, I'll take up the questions if you have here. Babani, Ashish, Hima, Kim, good evening to all of you. Ashish asks, was post India-Pakistan partition riots a genocide? Not been proved. Not been proved. Similarly, if you want to call what happened in Kashmir as a genocide, not been proved. Proving a genocide is a tough thing, yes. But then if you want to call it as a war crime, absolutely, most welcome, because these come as a part of Geneva Convention. But then proving a genocide is a tough thing. All right, I just mentioned that only three incidences have been accepted as genocide as of now. Accepted. This is debatable. Then how is it legal as the depositor remain kept a secret? Bhabani, it is legal because, good question asked. Bhabani says, what is the reason that when the depositor account is hidden, who is paying? How is it legal then? It is legal because only bank drafts, you can't put in cash money. You have to put only bank draft or account transfer has to be done. And then income tax department will come just behind your back asking ye paisa kahan se aaya, where did 5 crore rupees come to your account? And by the way, the portal in SBI is right now open. You go to SBI and what is it? Today is 7th of April. It's right now open. The person who wants to fund, kitne crore rupees dene hai Amlan? How much do you want to pay? It's already open right now. You can go and anybody can purchase these electoral bonds right now. Hi Kanupriya, welcome, good evening. Ashish, sir, does it also come under FCRA like the NGO? No, it doesn't. That is the most interesting part. No, once we know how it is, the things are operating, you would get a little frustrated. This is not going towards the best direction. That is why people are questioning, and that is the reason Supreme Court has taken up this case. What is the reason that we want fundings from foreign organizations also through their counterparts or through their small institutions in the country? When we are refusing FCRA payments or Home Ministry is keeping a tab on it, then why are we including foreign organizations payment in the country for political parties, which was banned earlier? Why this amendment? Good question asked. There are such many questions which can be asked. So these are the criticisms. We don't have to get emotional, but one has to be straight and aware. Preeti says ADR data says greater than 55% of political donations via unknown sources. Out of this, 95% via electoral bonds. Have a look. Yes, 95% plus electoral bonds used. Okay. Hima says they do not send cutlery options on Zomato. Is it so? Because I have been eating biryani with the Zomato cutlery itself, the black shaped plastic entities. But then, oh yes, lately they have not been sending. Having said that, there are some places which have started to send the wooden spoons, isn't it? Amran says to donate they will have to take loan from SBI. Why SBI? You have friendship with Bezos, no? And we have Musk Bhaiya, Elon Musk. They know you. I don't know if you know them well, but they know you well. Ask for some money. Okay, moving ahead. These are some terms and news. So first one is Mr. Amar Mitra. Amar Mitra has been popular now because he has won an award called as O. Henry Award. O. Henry Award for a story that he wrote way back in 1977. Look at the gentleman. He's grown old. He wrote it in Bengali, and the theme of the story that he wrote Gaon Buro. And this is a short story. This award, O. Henry, is dedicated to the gentleman O. Henry and for short story writing. And he got this award for what he had written. The short story was about a person who was fed up of the worldly life and he had a lot of questions. He was seeking a saint and he was approaching the saint in the rural areas. And while he was approaching them, going towards them, there are a lot of people who throng around him and say, we also have questions. And there are so many questions. This is inspired through his own life journey. So he has won the short story award, O. Henry Award, for the same. O. Henry Award instituted way back in the early 20th century, given for short stories. A collection of short stories is put in the compiled booklet. So this is what he has won. Remember, O. Henry Award presented for what? Short stories written, and they are published in English, Canadian. Some booklet is created for it, and they're published in English. He is written in Bengali. Okay, Mr. Amar Mitra. Okay. Just an update. The second update is about Dalai Lama's Tibetan Committee. This is called as the Tibetan Committee, which receives funds from Indian government. See, 1959, when there were extremities being conducted by the Chinese government in Tibetan region for integration of Tibet. However, 1959, a lot of Buddhist people they started to migrate in the country. And there are quite a few offices, at least 17 offices in India, which has been created for management of the Tibetan people residing in India. There are lakh plus Tibetan people who are residing in India. So the central government has continued the scheme of funding the offices. That's it. So these Tibetan committees, they are given 8 crore rupees by the central government per annum to manage themselves. So the government says that we will continue this scheme for next coming 5 years. Okay, the third update is on the roads being constructed, steel slag roads. Oh my God! So we've had the tarmac that Hima calls as bitumen road. Okay, Then we have these which is the second one, the concrete road, right? The one which is, on which the RCCs, reinforced cement concrete, is also put. The metal, metal bars are also put on the road. So this is the second kind. The third is the kacha road. And then we also studied a few days back the road which could absorb. No, can somebody mention the name of those roads? So those are the third kind. And now we have the fourth kind, which is far more utilizable in many respects. These are called as steel slag roads. So people, chemical engineers and production engineers, civil engineers, you would raise your eyebrows when I speak more about it. So I'll speak a little less about this. Steel slag, when steel is produced, when refining of steel happens, this is where all the material which was not to be utilized, the slag material, the material which was lying waste, this gets utilized, processed, so that road can be created with the help of this. While steel slag is utilized, the thickness of the road, it gets reduced. If the road was to be, say, 12 inches thick, it will need to be only 8.5 inches thick. 30 centimeter reduction in the thickness is good. The total cost, it gets less, because we are not utilizing concrete, because you are not utilizing the bitumen material. Not only that, it also aids in multiple ways, because it has got greater durability. So cost is less, durability is more, thickness is less. So good project. And then one issue here is that the temperature, because it is steel slag, the temperature during summer times, it rises a little, 1.5, 2 degrees more than the regular roads. This is the actual road, 3 lane plus 3 lane, and this is near Hazira in Surat, Hazira. So steel industry is located very close by. Slag has been put for the construction of these roads only, and they have been tested, working very well. So good case study for you, good way to understand how upcycling or recycling of products can happen. And this is where I would like to remind you of ash, the fly ash utilizing in concrete and road construction, house construction. So start linking them, governance, economy, infrastructure, all of them. See, the approximate construction cost per square meter or the processed steel slag road is 1150 rupees, as against 1300 for bitumen road and 2700 for cement and or a concrete one. So look at the price difference: 1150, 1300, and then 2700. And not only that, the lifespan of a cement or concrete is over 30 years, but bitumen and steel is around 15 years. So aisa nahi hai ki this is Iron Man wala, it will never get destroyed. It will get destroyed around the same time as the bitumen road, but the durability is still better, the cost is less, the thickness of the road is less. That is good. Okay, now we are moving to the editorial section. Okay, so let me look up some questions if they are there. Hima says they are using it since 2019. What have you been using it? The electoral bonds? Oh, you meant the cutlery. Do not send cutlery options has been made default to. Okay. Asphalt road, very good. Now steel roads. They're not steel roads, they're steel slag. Whatever remains are there of the smelting process or the refining process, no, they are using that. They're not made of steel. These are the actual roads, not made of steel, but steel slag. Okay, porous asphalt road. That was the word to use. Good, very good. Very good that you people remember this. But please do remember this also. Material. What is the word? What? Facility, material, recovery. Exam आपको देना है, but मैं help कर रहा हूँ. Material acceleration platforms. Sorry. Material acceleration platforms. All right. Discovery of biorefinery products. Okay. Moving to the editorials. The first editorial is that on the hijab case. So this editorial is written to fight for or towards the welfare of the people. It says reasonable accommodation argument has not been accepted by the court. We understand what is reasonable accommodation. Accommodate something if possible for the minorities, for the endangered or for the people who are more vulnerable, minorities community, For laborers, this was a part of ILO convention. I remember having discussed this with you people. Reasonable accommodation was not accepted by the court in case of hijab verdict by the High Court. Now the case will be taken up by the Supreme Court, but amidst that, this is a argument written by the person. So the High Court of Karnataka, it clearly says that non-uniformity is something they would not like to accept in the higher school levels, right? Junior college levels, right? Non-uniformity. They have said that if you could accept a person wearing hijab, what's the issue? So they say if scarf has been, headscarf in winters has been accepted, that is the norm for everybody. But hijab norms will be different, and you will segregate people wearing scarf and the hijab from the other people. There will be segregation within the same community, within the uniformity. This is not allowed. So this is what the argument is, that of the High Court. However, the editorial points out three important pointers. The first it says is that why only hijab has been segregated? Why not other personal or religious symbols? For example, turban, wearing a cross, having a kumkum or a tika, tilak. All those signs also are turban, beard, tilak, cross, anything. They are also religious signs. Now they also should be singled. Then, not only that, whatever identities are given, these are identities which are fluid in nature, right? They keep changing with time, and the identity is only which makes us enriched human beings. So this is not only about the Article 25, that is profession of one's religion. This is also about Article 21, right to privacy, wearing what we want to wear. This is one argument. The choice of appearance and apparel are also aspects of right to privacy. It is my private matter what I want to wear. And the third is identity. Anybody's identity gets created through their choices. Identity only makes social sense when difference is recognized and respected. Difference should be recognized and respected. These are the arguments. So don't take anything emotionally, either this side or the other side. Just understand that this is an ethical perspective. Difference must be recognized and respected in our country. Okay. So that's the first editorial. The second editorial speaks about the India-Nepal relations. Okay, good one. The Nepali Prime Minister, Mr. Can somebody name him? Can somebody put his name here? Fifth time Prime Minister of Nepal. Now, this time he has come to India to increase the ties between both the countries. So this is where the editorial says that India has had some bittersweet relationship with Nepal. So I'll quickly tell you all the relationship that we have had lately, especially the kind of relationship that Nepal has had with Tibet, with China and with USA. What have been the issues right now? So with India, the positives are far more than the issues. One important positive between India and Nepal has been the continuation of the British treaty of having no visa for free movement across the borders. So this is a great step, because of which Nepali people have got the right to work in our country without any extra documentation. So this is a great step ahead. Along with that, any neighbor, SAARC countries, BIMSTEC countries here, right? So as a kaan khade ho jaye, you should know that electricity generation, power purchase agreements and electricity transfer to India and across the border is one mandate. India is funding this across, and India is also helping in creation of electricity, transfer of electricity, all of it. Not only that, this is only one aspect of it. If there are other issues between the countries, they also have to be dealt with. For example, India and Nepal have got agreements on International Solar Alliance. Nepal wants to be a part of this Solar Alliance. So they just signed an agreement on that. Not only that, this is about power generation, rail link. So they are generating rail links across the border from Bihar to regions in Nepal. So rail links, that means more infrastructure projects, more power projects between both the countries, power transmission, power purchase, power creation, all of them, and International Solar Alliance and transfer of petroleum products to Nepal. See, Nepal is a landlocked country, right? So China also has been aiding Nepal in many ways. They have given free access to Nepal to ports, to land ports and to sea ports in their country. India also must do this through BIN projects, through BIMSTEC projects, right? And some issues between India and Nepal are what? Kala Pani issue, we have studied that. So the treaty between India and Nepal said that the origin of the river, from the origin, that place, left of it is India's and right of it is Nepal's. But then Nepal says that, this stream that you're speaking, we are not going to include this particular stream as the origin. We will include the other stream as origin. So left of this area will be yours and right of this will be yours. So this a disputed area. Now this has come in light because of the, dispute always existed, but it has come to light lately because of internal politics of Nepal. Rather than working on internal reformation, they have highlighted an external issue. India is an aggressor state. This is not good. The Indian Prime Minister has clearly mentioned, let us not politicize border issues, let us solve them. So there are two border issues. One is the one at Kalapani and the other one is at Susta. Kalapani is what? Tell me the names of the rivers, yeah, where both the issues are there. Susta at, you should mention this. If you don't remember, then possibly I will help you here. So these are the issues, and then India also was trying to indirectly tweak some ways in which Nepali constitution was being made. So for example, the delimitation of Nepali areas. See, if this is Nepal, a mountainous country, not all the regions are mountainous. Most of it is mountainous, and there are small plain areas also. Now these plain areas are the ones which are inhabited by Indian people also. Indian people or the plain people who would have ethnic origins from Uttar Pradesh or Bihar. They are usually called as Madhesis, people living in the those areas which are plain areas. And then we have a Maoist community, right, who follow the Communist Party ideology, and then we have tribals. They all dominate in the hilly areas. Now India said that instead of making the constituency such that the Madhesis become minority everywhere, start giving them more rights, right? Have territorial constituencies where their majority also is accepted. Indirectly was happening, right? So Nepal was not happy with such a thing. Not only that, there were indirect blockades. Now India passes on to Nepal everything, almost everything. But then there were indirect blockades during this issue only, 2015. So this is an irritant between the countries, right? Demonetization, 2016-17 when this happened, then Nepalis, their central bank and their Nepali people, they have more than 500 crore rupees. अभी भी पड़ा हुआ है, कैसे exchange करेंगे पुराना 500 का 1000 का note, right? The government of India had said there is a deadline, but then deadline was not followed by them, and now they have an issue. So these are the issues between both the countries, and the advantages also. India is the largest trading partner, right? But then largest investment is now from China. China providing access to Nepal through land and seaports. So 4 seaports and 3 land ports, helping in expansion of airports, right? Helping in development assistance. They have increased. They started with Tibetan refugees. Tibetan refugees को monitor करना नेपाल में, what they are doing, where they are doing, but now it has widened to helping Nepal in certain ways. And in fact, China also opposed the pact between Nepal and USA. Just 1 week back or so, there was a protest, through communist parties, etc., and they were saying that USA is advancing its Indo-Pacific strategy against China in Nepal. How are they doing it? They are funding road projects. They are funding projects of development in Nepal, maintenance of roads, development projects, high voltage transmission lines, all of them being funded with the help of USA. And Nepal, even under pressure from China and other parties, did not succumb to this pressure. They signed this agreement, right? So these are some important relationships. What is there for India in this relationship is that they must repair the relationship. They must act as a person, as an institution who can give more and ask for not equal reciprocity, right? So engage in more diplomatic talks, not just leadership level, but people to people exchanges and more conversations about it. And India must become a generous and sensitive partner rather than competing against China. Okay, this is the update. The third editorial, we will understand that as a part of MSME debate today in the featured news. Yes, the featured news is on some MSME reforms, RAMP scheme to be discussed, and not only RAMP, I will also discuss the other schemes which are about the revamping of the micro, small and medium industries in the country. All right. Now, today's case study is on Bear. Now, Bear, not Bear. Bear. This is an American company, and they indulge in creation or manufacturing of seeds and agricultural products. So when they came to India, they initiated a program of these cotton, the hybrid cotton varieties, the yielding cotton varieties being distributed among people, and they were responsible for it, right? Now somehow there was a lot of usage of the child manpower, and this is where they said that we will want to recover the small children working in agricultural sector. We will not make it, we will not have small children working them. So child free and child care institutions were established under the administration of Baer, and this is how children are being helped. This is how the institution is spreading its welfare amongst people. So this is a good case study from Gujarat, where children are out of the kind of work that is exploitative for their age. Now, before we wrap up this session, let me quickly take up the questions if there are any here. Okay, you guys know it. Mr. Deoba, thank you. Hima, Kim. Mahakali and Tista, I think, yes, Kali is one river, but I think it's not Tista, it is Gandak. Netra is correct. It is UP, it is Uttar Pradesh where the second dispute is located. Friends, please note, the dispute between India and Nepal are over Mahakali, the Kali river, and then Gandak river. Oh yes, Kriti has also mentioned this. Good. A lot of Nepali population in Hima's region. And having said that, Nepali people also say the same thing. A lot of Indian population in our region, and many people of Indian origin or Indians, they are amongst the richest in Nepal. So that is another disparity. Yes. Okay. 60% of Nepal export and import are handled by Haldia and Visakhapatnam port. Okay, look at this data from Nima. Good enough. One more thing about Nepal. India's one of the largest expatriate population, मतलब यहाँ से जो लोग जाते हैं बाहर, Indians or origin of Indian origin, many marriages happen across the border. Just like Pakistan, Afghanistan, marriages happen across the border. Even in POK region, POK is only a boundary, but then the cultural boundary does not exist. People marry from one side to the other. If you remember the movie Razi, same thing. So Nepal, India, marriages across happen, and along with USA, along with countries like UAE, Nepal has one of the largest expatriate population of India, and we don't even consider them different. Nepalis can also apply for UPSC except IS, IPS, IFS. I don't know if they can. Oh yes, there is some way in which Nepalese, Bhutanese people can apply in the exam. They are also trained in Indian academies. So if you find in police service, people are wearing different kind of uniforms. They are from possibly Nepali police service or Bhutanese police service. Something of nature is there. Okay, so quite a lot of data here. So other people viewing offline, most welcome to write some comments and views. If you like this video, if you've got questions, please put them down. I will put down both the questions which I have put here in the online chats in the offline section as well, so that you are able to respond to it. And we will meet in the next video, that is on the feature video, that is on various programs for MSME development in the country. All right. Indian Idol from Tripura married Nepalese. So see. So let's begin the other news in a short while. Thank you for participation and this lively conversation. Let's see you in the other video. Thank you.